Hello, my name is Chirlane McCray, and I'm the First Lady of New York City.
And I'm New York City Council member Jumaane Williams.
In 2013, more than half of the murders committed in New York State occurred within the 5 boroughs.
The summer months are particularly deadly, with shootings and murders rising along with the temperature, but it's not something we have to or should accept.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Throughout the city, New Yorkers are organizing events where young people can add their voice to the conversation about reducing gun violence.
We need your ideas, your passion, and your voice. Head over to www.gunviolenceawarenessmonth.org to learn how you can get involved.
Guns have caused so much needless pain and violence in our communities. Enough is enough.
Let's make this summer the beginning of the end of gun violence craziness. We all have a part to play, from government to community to you. If you want to see it stop, you have to get involved.
Join us in making a stand. Together, we can save lives.
How many of y'all feel positive out there? Well, right now, what we want to do is we want to get everybody together all over the world as we get this thing started, something like this.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Brand News and Reviews, where hip-hop has a new direction. I'm your host, Christopher Martin, better known as Play, and I'm bringing you news about individuals and events making a difference around the world and even up the street. Right now, we're all on very special assignments, and we'll be back real soon, but for right now, let's check out our first story that celebrates and gives us a brief history lesson about Juneteenth.
There's always a festive mood in the days leading up to June 19th, or Juneteenth, as it has been called here since June 19th, 1865. That was when U.S. Army General Gordon Granger arrived in the port city of Galveston, south of Houston, and announced that all slaves were free. Houston Black Heritage Society Director Ovid Duncatel says on Juneteenth, African Americans reflect on their struggle for freedom and justice.
We put more emphasis on this day than we do on 4th of July, because as you know, 4th of July was not a free day for us.
Duncatel says it's important to educate younger generations about the meaning of the date. Many black children have only a vague idea of what the holiday signifies.
I said it's good that slavery is over and we can be free.
And back in the day, the white people can be with the black people. Now we can be with each other.
Emancipation Park in Houston's predominantly black 3rd Ward is where some of the earliest Juneteenth celebrations took place. The land was bought by former slaves in 1872, according to local performer and activist Kijana Wiseman.
4 men got together and they organized the blacks and they bought this land here, 10 acres of land, and they made it into a place where people could go and celebrate Juneteenth.
She says celebrations have now moved to other parts of the city, like the Miller Outdoor Theater in Houston's Herman Park, now being prepared for a Juneteenth concert Thursday night. But community leaders are hoping to give Emancipation Park new life through a $35 million refurbishing funded by the city as well as private donors. The renovated park will be the scene for celebrations of the 150th Juneteenth next year.
This is a very sacred place.
Educator Marilyn Mandisa Douglas-Jones says the holiday is now observed all over the United States and overseas.
It's now spread beyond the United States to other parts of the world. It is celebrated in parts of the Caribbean, parts of Africa, and even in Russia.
She says this is a celebration not just for African Americans, but for everyone.
No one is free until everyone is free. As Dr. King would say, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
And that, she says, sums up the spirit and importance of Juneteenth.
Wow. We want to thank Voice of America in Houston, Texas for a great lesson and a great story. Next, we want to introduce more history. Listen, some of us, we all have our place in sports, such as baseball, basketball, football, but how about at the rodeo? Well, an African American by the name of Bill Pickett did his thing and also paved the way for this.
I grew up in a little small town, Newton, Kansas. and we used to live down the street from the rodeo grounds. And every time there was a horse show, all these trailers would come by our house. So I started running down there. I just started meeting people and just getting into watching and stuff. Rio, don't you untie that. Rio. People started seeing how much interest I took, and then I just started hanging out with them because I really liked horses.
Come on, Angel. Come on, Sonny. Come on, ponies. I first got interested in horses growing up in Connecticut. We had a lot of farmland around our house where we lived. One day I was riding my bike down the street, looked in this far pasture and saw a horse back there and rode down to the pasture, slid on his back one day, and that's when I fell in love with horses.
Is that heavy?
It's a little heavy, because he's not helping at all. Once you pick it up, it's on you. I think the fascination that kids have with horses is the whole cowboy mystique, because that's really all they've seen, is the cowboy movies and the rough riding, and you know, that's where they get their first experience with horses. What is this called? No, no, not the hair. This piece right here.
The forehead?
The forehead, exactly. Most people don't know anything about horses. They just know what they've seen in the movies. Who can tell me what these are?
Oh, those are the chaps. The chaps.
Chaps. Now, who can tell me what chaps are used for?
To, to keep your legs from getting chapped.
Actually, they're used to protect yourself because there's a lot of...
Almost everybody out there wants to be a cowboy. Almost, you know. Whether they want to take it as far as some of us have taken it, maybe, maybe not.
What are they doing?
They're warming up the horses.
I do bear racing. I get to go as fast as I want to, or as fast as I can, on a really nice horse.
It's a speed event, and it's just you're going down as fast as you can. You're going to turn that barrel at the end. Whoever does it in the fastest time wins. It takes a lot of training to get a horse that will do that at that kind of speed. Ready? Go out to her. Go out to her. Get in front of her. Let her catch you. Let her catch you. Starting the rodeo was just something that really excited me. I felt it was a really neat thing to do. You're touching people's lives that would never have an understanding of black cowboys, any kind of cowboys, Hispanic cowboys, white cowboys, Native American cowboys. I mean, it just encompasses everybody. One of the other things that the Atlanta Black Rodeo Association does is that we're training young adults that want to compete in rodeo. Okay, see when them knuckles hit that? Mm-hmm. That's your bind. If we don't pass this on, then it's hard for these kids to do it by themselves. You know, so if we don't make this available to them, then 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen. When that horse jumps up, he's going to jump, his front feet are going to hit the ground. He's going to buck up with his back end. He's going to throw you up. For anybody you talk to out there that is doing this now, somebody help them. Get your feet up, spur, lay back, 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 spur. Lift with that right hand, lift with that right hand, lift with that right hand. There you go. All right.
For me, it's just a pay it forward kind of feeling. I get to see the development, which is almost immediate, from the nervous kid that comes out to the relaxed, calm, confident kid that leaves.
Get over. There you go. There you go.
I get the satisfaction of knowing that I've helped somebody to get over their fear.
And the first day, you can barely get him to walk up to a horse and pet him. And by the end of the week, he's not afraid. Keep your elbow up, elbow up. When you come around, that hand should be lower than your elbow. See what I'm doing? And when you throw it, nice and easy, nice and easy. There you go. That child who has gone from here to here and is still climbing, that's a good thing. That's a cool thing. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment. But so does anything else in life.
That great story is from our friends at PBA 30, Atlanta's PBS station. Now here's something from Fox News in the NYC about Chase Sneaker Reed and his family.
Troy Reed spent weeks of his life waiting in line to buy his 16-year-old son Chase the latest limited release Nike sneaker. To teach Chase some fiscal responsibility, when the boy wanted money for other ventures, Dad took his shoes until son repaid the loan.
Dad, you know you're kind of making me pawn you my sneakers. And I was like, yeah.
That exercise in parenthood led to a realization.
Imagine how many kids have all these sneakers sitting in their house.
Sneakers they can now pawn, sell, or buy from Troy and Chase at Sneaker Pawn in Harlem.
Probably he won't be the next LeBron James, but he'll probably be the next biggest sneakerhead in the world.
With seed money collected from the sale of tens of thousands of dollars of Reed family shoes, father, son, and the sneaker-loving family friend they call Uncle Bless opened this storefront just last month, already welcoming a steady march of fly-footed customers with very different needs.
Pawning for funerals, for bail, for school books, for storage fees, for rent, for cell phones.
For those unfamiliar with the sneaker world, shoe companies release new shoes in limited quantities for somewhat reasonable prices. The resale value of those sneakers then increases exponentially. These What the KDs, for example, came out just Saturday for $150. 2 days later, they already go for $500 secondhand.
His girlfriend actually called here to make sure he pawned his sneakers to get the rent money.
Here, used or secondhand means they left the Nike store and spent the next however many years in a box in some kid's closet.
Hands down, this is a business model that's gonna work.
So far, Sneaker Pawn's still waiting to turn a profit, looking for investors to help it grow. But Troy says he knew he'd found a successful idea from the first customer he saw on the first day Sneaker Pawn opened.
A guy bought in 60 pair of sneakers, and he actually just killed the bank that day.
Now that's what we're talking about and reporting about here at Brand News. We devote and make the time to find stories like these to help inspire you and make a great difference in all your lives. Well, that's it for now. Again, I'm and the rest of the crew is out getting more and looking forward to bringing you more next week. So in the meantime, may God continue to bless you all real good. Real talk. In Jesus' name, see you next week.